afternoon. This is Ben Sirwa, Superintendent of Schools of MSAD27. Many of you have been asking about the recent news that our local region, our tri-district region, which includes MSAD27 here in Fort Kent, as well as MSAD33 in Frenchville and Madawaska schools, the fact that we were selected as the top point recipient on the consolidated 9 through 16 high school, which essentially means that we can receive a new high school in our regional area if after this 30-day period for other applicants to review, if the points come out the same and we are still a top point getter, we're going to have the possibility of a brand new high school in our area, which is fantastic news. But one of the biggest questions we've been receiving deals with the location of the school. So if we were to accept this school, where would it end up? Where would we build it? So I'd like to just take a few minutes to show you some of the rules around school construction, and hopefully that answers your question. Please know that essentially at the end of this short presentation, we still don't know where that school will be. That will ultimately go to the local people to help make that determination. But I do want to share with you the rules surrounding how that's decided, that center around site approval for school construction. There's 2 rules that we're going to look at today. The first one is Chapter 61, which is State Board of Education rules for major capital school construction projects. I'm going to quickly go down to page 13 where we start to talk about the site selection. And here on page 13, it has eligibility for state funding that deals with the site approval. All projects must receive site approval by the state board. In order to be considered for site approval, each SAU, that's school administrative unit, must at a minimum have successfully completed a site application. In considering new sites, schools should first refer to the requirements of Chapter 60, which deals specifically with school siting. So I've got Chapter 60 here, the new school siting approval. And there are considerations that need to be accounted for when they're looking at accepting a site. When reviewing a request for site approval, the State Board of Education must consider the following: the adequacy of the site to provide for the long-term educational program space needs and playfield requirements for a school administrative unit, the comprehensive enrollment analysis for the school administrative unit, comprehensive and complete renovation versus new analysis of the existing building and site, community involvement in the selection process, site development costs, both on and off the primary location of the project, the impact of student transportation, vehicular traffic and student safety, the allowance for future expansion, the proximity to power, water, and sewage facilities, surface analysis of soils and ledge, the survey of site for wetlands, and the environmental issues related to the site. There's also some additional considerations. When a school administrative unit's request for site approval specifies that a new school on a new site is the school administrator's preference, the State Board of Education must consider the preferred areas for school siting as defined below. A locally designated growth area identified in the municipality's comprehensive plan adopted pursuant to Maine revised statutes. In the absence of a comprehensive plan, an area that is served by a public sewer system has the capacity for a school construction project. An area identified in the last federal decennial census as a census designated place or a compact area of urban compact municipality. Urban compact municipality means that it's a municipality that has more than 7,500 residents, and none of our local communities fit that definition. When a site is requested that is not in the preferred area as defined in 4AI or 4A1 or 4A2 above, the school administrative unit must provide a written explanation of its site selection to the Board of Education consideration prior to the meeting scheduled by the State Board to review the school administrative's request for site approval. And then it goes through the review and decision process. Going back to Rule 61 here, they also on page 16 go into similar information that was just read here. The school building sites shall have sufficient usable land. They have to have, the land to supply the program. You have to have access for the vehicles. You have to have enough land to possibly add to the project in the future. There has to be land for playing fields and parking. A good rule of thumb when they're talking about maximum state subsidized site, and we're talking about a secondary school, so we're going to go to C here. Maximum reimbursable site size for secondary school is defined as 30 acres plus 1 acre for each 100 students. So if we're looking at a school for about 500 students, we'd be looking at about 35 acres to build that school. And then the location, as we read here, there's all kinds of requirements that may be listed in each municipality's ordinances, but it also does say that applicants for school construction projects shall include reference and assurance of compliance with local comprehensive plans, in that the SEU shall conduct a Department of Environmental Protection Phase 1 assessment, and then consideration should be given with the minimum travel distance for the maximum number of students. So that's all something that they take in consideration as well when they're determining that. I don't know if that answers your question. Again, we have a lot of work to do in selecting that site, but definitely if you want more information or you want me to send you Chapter 61 or Chapter 60, you could definitely email me. It's my first and last name together, Benjamin Sirwa at MSAD27.org. You can also get me right on the SAD27 website, MSAD27.org. You can go here, and the superintendent's office is right there where you'll find my email and contact information as well. Feel free to contact me and I can send you this information or try to get you anything else that you need. But that's all that we know so far as to how a school site is determined, and we definitely have some interesting conversations to have in the upcoming days, weeks, and months, and even years ahead. Thank you very much.